Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Hearthstone Legendary Series Season 2 Finals. We're in the player area where a bunch of people from Blizzard has stopped by and given us nice plushies and even some nice cookies as well. These are Hearthstone-shaped cookies. So yes, be jealous because you should be. I'm sitting next to Chalky, a.k.a. Big Sock Chalk. Plays Face Hunter and Zoo Warlock, and his play is solid as a rock. What's up, Chalk?
Wow. Are you a rapper?
No, I'm not a rapper.
Okay.
All right, so Chalky, in all of honesty, you've actually been playing really well. You've been casting really well, and playing with your words exceptionally. You're a wordsmith. So talk to me about how you've been enjoying the experience so far.
Yeah, casting's great. I mean, every game's enjoyable when you can't lose. There's been some really funny games. There's been some really skillful games. It's great to see a really great mix of new players and some of the old players going back all the way to the start of the game. And overall, this is just one of the best events I've been to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a very enjoyable atmosphere. The people have been great. The crowd's been awesome. The fireside's been absolutely fun. And they're getting some free pizza later on, too, as well as some card packs if they get to beat me, which a lot of people have been today. Frodan vs. the World has not been going too well on day number 2. I'm definitely struggling with my win rate. I might need some help later on if you're free. In the meantime, we're getting ready for Group D, which has a pretty good mix of players. You said you were really hyped for this group. Can you, again, explain why for anybody who's coming to the stream?
Just everybody in this group's just insanely good and been practicing a lot for this event. I know it means a lot to each of them. Lifecoach coming off a huge win at VIA Game. He's already in the winner's match. Phonetap, who just recently joined Hearthlytics, really looking for a big breakout performance for not only for him but for his team. The Rat in the loser's bracket, I know he practices this game, plays it more than a lot of people. And finally, Silent Storm, the champion from Season 1, doesn't want to go out early, wants to defend his title. So a lot of different storylines, going to be great.
As mentioned prior to that short little break, we did have the first couple of matches played in the interest of time, but we are going to go ahead and play out the rest of the playoffs of the entire group. So we're going to see Lifecoach go up against the Rat, Phonetap, who was able to take out the Rat. And of course, the Rat will end up playing against Silent Storm in the loser's match. But we'll be getting away just under a second right after you watch this quick hype video about why you should be paying attention to Group D.
My name is Brian, the Rat Quartet. I'm 22. I'm from Michigan. I play for Team Illuminati.
Hey guys, my name is Lifecoach and I'm 33 years old. I'm living in Vienna at the moment and my team is Nihilum.
My name is Phonetap. I'm 19. I come from New York City. My team is Team Hearthlytics.
My name is Silent Storm. I'm from Canada, 17 years old, and I play for Team Celestial.
And the best part of being a professional Hearthstone player is that you go around the world, visit a lot of tournaments. You have a lot of fun. You always meet your friends in different places of the world. It's just great.
When I first got here, the first thing KitKat said to me was, "You have the worst name in all of Hearthstone," followed by Oskaka. What does that even mean?
In terms of my competitive background, Hearthstone is the first game I've ever played competitively.
The probability to defend my champion is pretty low, but if I had a slight bit more luck than the others, I can still win.
If I can beat him, I'll prove myself to the community that I'm a player to be reckoned with. So I'm really looking forward to this match.
So my first match is against Lifecoach. I'm not intimidated, but prior to the VIA Game House Cup, I had picked him as a favorite to win. I think he is one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. But I don't get intimidated easily, and I've put in a lot of hard work and effort. And I know that I'm at least better with Patron than him. So hopefully that's all it takes.
We will see how difficult or not difficult he will be. I mean, I cannot say it because I never played against him, or I also don't have any information about his playing strength. As I know, he claimed to be the best player in the world with Grim Patron, so we ought to find out whether his claims are correct in this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Season 2 finals of the Hearthstone Legendary Series. Once again, I'm OsmoQD, and this time I'm joined by George Hyped Magazzini.
There you go. Got the full 3.
Yep, and of course,
Mr. Crip.
Mr. Crip,
Yep.
the Crip, however you want to call him. George, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm a little sad. Both the rogues got knocked out of the tournament.
Uh-oh.
Kind of wanted to cast those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the rogue decks? Is it pretty standard these days, or do you play something else?
Yeah, so BGH and South Sea are both pretty standard, but I noticed only one of them had each. But Koki had the Harrison instead of the BGH, which is perfectly reasonable. You're expecting Handlock, some form of Hunter, and Grim Patron. So you want the Harrison or the BGH in there. And the South Sea is great versus everything.
All right, well, we are about to jump into some of the matches in Group D. We're going to jump into the winner's match first, which, of course, is between Lifecoach and Phonetap. So to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what happened in their first matches, which we said were played off-stream due to time constraints, Lifecoach took out the Rat 3-0. He beat down the Rat's Warlock 3 times in a row. Phonetap actually had a really close matchup with Soundstorm. Went to Game 5, but in the end, Phonetap did manage to take it with the 3-2 score. And the interesting thing here is Phonetap is running the second Shaman of the tournament.
And the first didn't do so well.
No, the first didn't do so well. That's why I hesitated a little bit.
Yeah.
But we have yet to see anything besides Mech Shaman. So maybe we'll see mid-range.
But also, it's like this, even though we haven't seen these players play, they had played, and this is the winner's match of the group. So this Shaman, being Conquest mode, has won a game.
Wow.
So Shaman, throughout the whole tournament, they have a point on the board.
Yeah. George, what do you think of Shaman?
Yeah.
Right now, it's pretty much only the Mech Shaman, which, you know, it's hard to appreciate like good Mech Shaman play because it feels like they just throw it all out there, you know. But maybe we'll see something cool. Looks like he doesn't have the Shaman here, though.
Yeah,
I actually had a lot of fun watching the interviews just to go through that. It was interviewed before they played their first game.
Yeah. We did the interviews earlier in the week, and it was really cool to see what the players had to say about each other. And
I didn't know the Rat was the best Grim Patron warrior in the world, and that everyone except me knew it.
Yeah. Self-proclaimed.
Oh, okay.
But I would definitely go towards that route. He was one of the players that was innovating with it the most. He was one of the players that was sort of at the forefront of refinement for the Patron Warrior deck. So when you get in that early,
Yeah.
you have a good head start.
Good head start. All right. Well, he hasn't mulliganed yet,
No,
right?
Phonetap already mulliganed. He had like some stuff
Oh,
like
he
quick
did?
shot. So yeah, that's what he's gonna go with.
Wow.
The double freezing.
Double
against,
freeze,
the Sun
beastless
Fury.
kill command, and Loatheb. That's pretty bad.
So it's sort of fitting to have George here because George was with me casting the very first week of the Legendary Series.
Okay.
Or the week the Lifecoach won, right?
Yeah, the week of Life.
Yeah. So it's fitting to have him here because getting to see the final story of Lifecoach, perhaps, as he moves forward in the Legendary Series.
And back then, he was running a Paladin with Paladin Sky Golems, and I believe he's brought that back again.
Yeah.
And I was talking to some players, and then maybe like we're talking about how bad the Paladin Sky Golem drops were, and like we saw Lifecoach actually take it out of some of his decks that he played, but it's back in. And someone Osaka, I believe, was talking about how it got buffed by Hungry Dragon.
That's true.
And I can get a second 5/6.
It got buffed again by Dragon Sorcerer. 3/5,
like-
while not great, is above the average.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Lifecoach is actually bringing, I believe, the same lineup that he won the regular season week with. It's Paladin, Warlock, and Druid.
Interesting. I
So-
remember that week he brought 6 big game hunters, I believe, because he knew he was playing against Azubu and someone else that played Handlock.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do that this week, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, so far so good because he went 3-0 in his very first matchup. So has yet to lose a match in the Legendary Series finals here.
Well, Lifecoach is pretty happy about his spot, but like you have to wonder if a hunter's playing really nothing, he has to have answers for his giants.
Has a hunter ever Harrisoned a Draxus and won? So we
I
might
don't
see
know.
That. We could see the long game here.
Okay.
Yeah. Phonetap playing the long hunter game, you know? Eventually, 15 turns later, you're going to kill him. That's 30 damage. Read him and weep.
Alright, so we got the double mountain.
I
Twilight
like the Twilight Drake.
I know you like the Twilight Drake, Crip.
Yeah, whatever he plays, he's just gonna taunt. He's not gonna attack. He's just gonna taunt, right?
Yeah.
Well, he could.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, he probably.
Yeah. Twilight Drake allows him to tap Mountain the next turn. But he's really thinking, like, what could he possibly have in his hand? He just...
What if you did Ancient Watcher Sun Fury next turn, bounce back the card, tap Mountain Giant?
I think he's like counting at that right now, the 3-mana Molten Giant. He was at the Molten, I mean the Mountain.
But isn't that like reasonable?
I think so, but... I mean, this still gives you the option to just double taunt and wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not really in any rush here. I was actually talking to Lifecoach a little bit in the interview about his roping style. And he says he always counts everything. Every single thing. Every single turn he's doing some kind of math. The possibilities. When he was casting the other day, on turns he would just say, oh yeah, that's a 94% chance. Like instantly, as soon as the turn started, he's always counting in his head. And that's why he ropes, because he's making sure that he uses that time to the fullest.
Yeah, the difference between the really good and the best players is like 65 to 64% win chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, you have to have every little bit in your favor to make it quite at that level.
So we haven't seen Phonetap's full Hunter deck yet. This is actually the first time we're seeing him play today, because his first match was off stream.
Yeah. Both players.
Yeah,
all these
both
players.
We can assume that what Lifecoach has in his decks, because we've seen him play before. Nylum tends to have a lot of the same decks. So if you look across the past tournaments for these players, their decks are probably very similar. We just saw Lifecoach, a week ago, play at the Game House Cup, and he's running probably similar lineups. Even though they use a lot more decks, we still got to see a lot of these decks.
Taunt time.
Yep, going with the double taunt.
Shields up.
What are you looking for here for Phonetap, George, to try and get yourself back into this one?
I don't even know. Savannah doesn't even seem that great, but he'd take one. He doesn't have it. Let's see if Lothar does anything. I don't think it does, though. Maybe he wants to like deny the Priest Trap, so he could quick shot the Sun Fury, so he can have a little bit more time.
And make it so that he can't freezing trap another taunt
I like
guy.
that. I like the quick shot on the Sun Fury.
Just to, so you don't take that 8 right now.
It actually hurts Lifecoach a lot because he has the Mountain Giant, and I think he might be relying on him bouncing back that extra card, which he won't do with the other Mountain Giant. Because I believe, as it stands, he can bounce back a card and then tap for a 4-mana giant. A 3-mana giant. Okay, he doesn't need that. He doesn't need that. Never mind.
I don't know if there's too much of a rush, just because he's got quite a bit of heal in the deck, but he definitely doesn't want to get to a point where the mid-range hunter has a board. He hasn't been able to proc like the freezing trap yet, and all of a sudden the hunter's able to piece together lots of damage. Just gonna play the little limit pass.
Yeah.
Okay, well now if Lifecoach tries to trade with the Mountain, he could just quick shot the Mountain and kill it.
And it blocks out all the other stuff. Hellfire. Not that that would be that useful.
Although with double Hellfire, that's the only 3 Mountain hits. That's to 24, and then he kills him with the extra 6. So he's probably going to go for that 8 damage to the face right here. Maybe get the second Mountain down.
Gonna do the math.
Do you think it's a good idea to tap here? Like, I think he has everything he needs now that I keep looking at it.
Yeah, I was talking to Lifecoach before, and he's like, if you play double Healbot, but he only has 1 now, already, so there's only 1 left in the deck. So he's already, I remember he was talking to me about this once before, how much it costs to tap. It costs 2, but you have 2 Healbots that like did the math, and he's saying how much it costs. It costs nothing if you have 2 left in the deck, but with only 1 left in the deck, it actually does cost you. And the thing here is, he, like you said, he has everything, and if he taps, he's actually gonna, like, how's he gonna spend all that mana without Emperor? You know, but he knew that Emperor was the next card, so he's like, all right, okay, it's good.
Well, that's the difference.
He probably did the math, calculating what are the chances he draws Emperor in the next card. Realized it was worth taking the risk.
And that card's just so good when this handlock can just play Emperor freely. Usually they play it from behind and they're like a little scared, and it's kind of like a Sylvanas. It's like, you can deal with this, and then maybe I'll clear everything, or you can ignore it and maybe kill me. But he's actually ahead, so he's just going to throw down the Emperor, and then like, what does Phonetap do? Like when you see a handlock get all those cards to reduce, you're like, what can I do? What am I playing around? He has everything. He can cast everything.
a lot of times at this point in the game, the hunter should be the one dictating the pace. They should be the one sort of having the initiative, but he missed. Like 1 through 3.
Yeah, he didn't have an option though. I mean, it's not really his fault. I mean, what do you do with
It's
two
his fault.
freezing traps?
It's Phonetap's fault.
Phonetap's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't catch what he actually mulliganed at the start.
It's a quick shot, and I think Hunter's Mark.
What do you think about Hunter's Mark keeping? Because a lot of players, I think, advocate for keeping Hunter's Mark in the matchup against Handlock. Is it something you only keep with Haunted Creeper, or...?
Did he keep it, or did
I'm
he
not
draw to
100%
the other?
actually, but I just saw the quick shot go.
Okay. So maybe, okay, he did keep it. So great! Woo! He did it!
Alright, well the Hunter's able to push for some more damage. Like if Lifecoach does drop the Emperor, he's gonna die very soon. So, I mean, this is still a very close game.
Actually, just dies, right?
Yeah.
Is that trap still up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fresh trap.
Okay. So yeah, if he plays Emperor here, then he has no way to... Oh, no, he can Mortal Coil the Lotheb. So we'll have 7 damage on the board, 9 damage with Hero Power.
Yeah, I think the play is again to Sun Fury. I think you do Ancient Watcher, Sun Fury, Mortal Coil, and Lotheb. I don't see anything close to that.
You can play the... Yeah, that's true, because then you can deal with the Freezing Trap the following turn.
Yeah.
Because if you play Emperor Thorsan, it reduces the cost of your cards, and you can Mortal Coil down the Lotheb. But then you're staring at 7 damage on the board, and either Emperor Thorsan or Mountain Giant the following turn is going to have to eat up that Freezing Trap. Not ideal.
I think Lifecoach thinks he's got a third trap at all. I mean, when we see the Harrison, 2 freezing is already standard, and when we see an extra card like a Harrison, usually it's got to be a trap that's been cut.
Yeah. What else can you cut? I mean, the Hunters have been playing so much around with the lineups, like the Hybrid Hunter.
They cut like an Unleash, maybe an Owl. He has 1 Owl.
Yeah.
Sometimes only 1 quick shot. I'm a fan of that, but I think we saw 2 already.
Dr. Boom on
Not
turn
bad.
7.
To prevent taking 8, you kind of have to kill command here, though. And if you do that, you get the bow down, you get an extra charge. That's kind of okay.
Do you really care about taking 8, though? At some point, you have to realize, I can't really play defensively. I'm the deck that's supposed to be the one being aggressive.
Alright, well, what you can do is just silence the Giant and kill the 2-3 with the bow. And kill the 4-5 with your 5-4.
That's pretty reasonable.
You can push for some damage, too. I think I like that better, actually. You save the kill command.
Yeah, it still forces the Giant to be the one that actually has to go into the Freezing Trap if he deals with it.
It's actually too bad he doesn't have that 8th mana crystal, because if he did, he could bow, kill command, and owl. And that 5-4 could hit face.
Yeah, if only he had that wild growth.
Oh, you went first, it was good enough.
You know, Phonetap is a player that we've had a lot of players that have won matches in the Legendary Series. Attribute some of their success to Phonetap because he's just in so many practice groups and helps out so many people.
Yeah, I like that trade. Makes the Shadow Flame harder.
I like the trade, but I don't like the Dr. Boom that much.
You don't like Dr. Boom on turn 7?
Yeah, I mean, you still just didn't deal with the 8-8 taunt.
At some point, though, like I said, you have to realize that you got to sort of use your health as a little bit of a resource and be the one who's forcing him to make the trades. That's still a scary board unless you have BGH, which he does. But you kind of got to force him to have it. Yeah.
He has Hellfire BGH and possibly a free Molten, which is a disaster.
Yeah, if the Boombots go to the face. And looks like that's what is going to happen.
Yeah, he needs 3 damage to go to be able to BGH hand Molten.
Then he sets up for lethal next turn. He actually sets up for lethal next turn regardless.
No, Lifecoach goes for a slightly safer play.
I've got the beast in my sight.
These Boombots need to do a lot of damage if he wants to get through this. Can he push any damage through? No.
Yeah.
Does have Owl, he does have Kill Command, but
It's just kind of sloppy. And really reliant on those boombots.
do you win from here, George?
I don't think so, but you can kill command the mountain and throw the bombs and the scientist in, and maybe get the BGH, and then there's just the Belcher.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use the owl to do that.
Hey! That's pretty bad.
That's horrible.
Maybe he doesn't trust the other one now. Yeah. This matchup's traditionally pretty good for the
Yeah,
for the mid-range
hunter.
hunter.
Those drops.
This boombot kills like big game hunter. Maybe there's something. Oh, it does.
Okay, so there's the kill command.
How about that?
Your clairvoyant crypt. He doesn't even have anything to like combo with knife juggler just to
Well, if
try
he
and get
hits the
some
knife
extra
on
damage.
the
Just a lot of it.
mountain,
A
then he
lot
gets
of it has to
his-
do with he just has another trap in the deck.
If he has an explosive, does it even matter?
Misdirect.
Misdirect? Oh! No one ever expects the misdirect. Oh, he finds a way to navigate through the wall.
No other trap. Well, this is the play that allows him to stay alive until the next turn. So I guess it's the absolute best one. I think just about every other one he loses instantly.
So double freezing trap, nothing else. No explosive, no snake, no misdirect,
Nope.
no snipe.
Snipe is fun. Snipe is like the eye opener.
Yeah,
Because people don't think about snipe when they play creatures.
yeah. Snipe is like the not bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can't never be too mad when you see the opponent run snipe. Snipe!
You can.
Interesting.
You can. You can be mad.
Oh.
Yeah, snipe is interesting because it pretty much doesn't cost you anything to play around it. So if you just play the things in the wrong order and you get sniped, you're like, I've known to blame
You're
it
like
myself.
Warsong Commander Grim Patron real fast, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay, so Snipe came around a while ago when Miracle Rogue was a big thing, and a lot of people compare Patron Warrior to Miracle Rogue, where they're drawn into their combos, and then there's not really much you can do to counter it. So maybe it's time for Snipe to make a comeback. All of a sudden, Hunter plays a Snipe on turn 7.
I don't know.
Patron Warrior tries to play into it too quickly.
The best part about Snipe is it works with spell damage, and that's something people really don't expect.
Yeah. All right, well, it looks like he's going to concede out of this one. Lifecoach is going to take game number 1 in the winner's match of Group D.
Yeah, fairly decisive. It seemed like there was an opportunity there for Phonetap, but it just didn't happen. Too far behind from the start, and Lifecoach played really safe throughout, so
Yeah.
not many directions from that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the reason.
Lifecoach has the Paladin left, which is normally a great matchup for Hunter. But maybe the Harrison Hunter can change that.
Maybe.
And Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman too.
Shaman.
I don't know. I feel like looking at the lineups, I'm automatically inclined to give Lifecoach the favor, even if I like block out all the decks but Shaman
And that win.
and that win.
Yeah, that one's huge because he could have potentially with the Hunter and the Shaman just killed the handlock or just locked the handlock out. But the handlock still win early, which is huge.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So Lifecoach is going to throw out either the Druid or the Paladin. Phonetap, Hunter, Shaman, or Druid.
Druid has not done so well in this tournament.
No, not really. There was a couple games earlier on today where we saw Druids get some pretty ridiculous starts, but overall, I think the win rate for Druid in this tournament is pretty low, especially if you exclude. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I was
Now,
gonna say the mirror
this is a
match.
matchup that's kind of like a guesswork. Like, it's probably Mech Shaman against probably slow Paladin. Like, who knows how that ends?
Yeah. So you said he's running
Sky Golem.
Sky Golems, but
Yeah.
what else? Like, what do you run in the early game here? Do you think Zombie Chow is still an include in Paladin? Do you think like Coghammer has a place?
I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of Paladins pretty easily afford the double Zombie Chow. And then they make up for it later. Maybe a Kel'Thuzad, we'll see. I mean, if he's running the Sky Golems, I wouldn't be surprised. But maybe he has something new like, okay, there's the Kel'Thuzad.
Kel'Thuzad.
So this is undoubtedly Mech Shaman.
Yeah.
It's locked in now.
Yeah. Where's Demigod? We need a Kel'Thuzad impression in here.
We could just play that over and over, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We got the footage.
We need the sound guy. Instead, when Kel'Thuzad is played, instead of his actual animation, just Demigod's impression instead.
I remember when Purple Jank first came out with the Mech Shaman list. He said the hard counter is shielded minibot.
Yeah, but it's not going to work here. The Anoyatron does a good job.
Yeah. It like 2-for-1's everything.
You know.
Not quite.
Well, Mech Warper, but a lot of times it could trade into like a Noyatron. It can.
No, I think a Noyatron is the only counter for your shielded minibot, which means you play it, but then he has a Noyatron, which sucks.
Well, it's not really like a counter. I guess it is if you play Cogmaster first.
It's the best reaction, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah, yeah. Because shielded minibot, if you attack first, it still trades 2-for-1 with a Noyatron plus something else.
Lifecoach just really doesn't like it.
Well, if you come out shielded minibot here, you don't have a play for the next turn except for hero power.
But hero power is not that bad.
It's true.
You're kind of paying a turn on your muster, though, potentially.
Yeah.
But it's going to work out because Phonetap's hand is actually pretty bad. I mean, I know he has the Noyatron, but I mean, besides that, it's pretty weak. He picks up the turn 3 drop.
Yeah, that makes it a whole lot better.
But you can see the Rag is already weighing down his hand.
Is Rag common in Mech Shaman? I haven't seen it in too many.
I don't think it was in the very first original list, but once it kind of made a comeback at Seat Story when people are starting to target Druid in Conquest, Zixo brought a version with Rag. And I lose to that Rag a lot. Like, I think I'm stabilizing these two on the Rag and hit him in the face for 8.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of times you your opponent's about to stabilize and you're running out of cards, but then you plop down a Rag and it just sort of gives you another life.
Yeah, plus the Fel Reaver and the Dr. Boom are already there for BGH, so like by that time you're not worried
the
about it.
The Earthshock is really good here. It allows you to clear and keep everything.
What to do?
It does. Wow.
And there is an argument for Spider Tank, though. Even though that shielded minibot's going to have to be dealt with eventually. Is Earthshock something that's going to be needed later on?
Yeah, I think the 3-2 into the 1-1, just to protect your Divine Shield, is good enough for the Spider Tank play, because the Spider Tank will just eventually kill the 2-2 for free.
Yeah.
Well, it is turn 3, and you're usually thinking about Muster. He has both Muster and the Aldor. And it doesn't really protect it from Muster, right? You can still hit the shield off.
Right. Whoa. I guess you want the damage.
He might have made that attack a little quickly.
Seems like it. Just from his reaction to it. Oh, man. That's bad.
Lifecoach has everything.
Yeah, he actually has everything.
Like, yeah, when you're playing against a Paladin, you're like, alright, does he have the True Silver or the Piloted Shredder? Which play do I make? He has both. And then same on turn 3, Aldor and the Muster.
And on turn 2. Does he have the shielded minibot?
For justice.
Whoop!
We missed the zombie chips.
Oh, true.
It's really the Consecrate that's kind of like the nail in the coffin here, because Phonetap going for damage, going for this line of play, his idea is just to swarm the board and hope he doesn't have Consecrate. Because nothing's worked out so far.
A lot of times, if you're able to stabilize once without taking too much damage, then you probably should be in a pretty good position to just win the game.
Yeah, heal totem. Okay.
But if you're trading this damage, you're not putting towards the face.
Yeah, but the heal totem is like, you want to get some free dudes? Get some free dudes.
You're all about free dudes.
That's value.
I wonder.
Okay.
I don't know if this match was about value, though, from the Shaman perspective. Although he does have the Dr. Boom and the Rag.
Yeah.
It's a lot of value.
That is. Yeah, eventually you have to realize, when do you just sort of say, you know what, screw it, I got a race.
Like, what is Ragnar's going to do if you're losing?
Snipe off a dude. A free dude. You said it. You're all about free dudes.
He's basically nothing.
Yeah. Contradicting yourself here, Grip.
Lifecoach is surprisingly low, though. 2 boom bots for 8 each, and then Rag for 8.
I think I like True Silver here.
16th.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a crackle. He doesn't even need it. So do you play True Silver Champion here, or do you develop a Paladin Shredder?
I think True Silver just clears out the board, and you have quite a sizable one still. Because you don't lose anything. True Silver kills the 3-4, deactivates the Cogmaster, I don't know, one of those. And then the 2-2 kills it for free. And then you just kill a free totem. A lot of freebies. Love it.
It's free. Lifecoach, of course.
Like, almost all the cards in his hand work. But I just think that's the best one. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely get the True Silver on. deny the mech synergy, even though there's none left, I believe, right? Yeah, there's no mech synergy left.
Okay, he saw the rope. That's his cue to start playing.
Actually, it has been.
He makes sure he takes his time. He thinks through every single possible outcome. And sometimes that takes some time. He says, well, if I play True Silver Champion, what are all the things he can do on turn 5 to punish me for it? If I play Pod Shredder, what are all the things he can do on turn 5 to punish me for it?
Yeah, Fel Reaver, you don't need any cards in your deck with that hand.
Yeah,
Just
but
need some dips.
Peacekeeper just absolutely...
Oh, yeah, Earthshock.
Oh, that's true. Wow.
This is a Knife Juggler Peacekeeper play. We're not even going to see the rope. Okay, I might see the rope.
No, this play seems really straightforward, and it does quite a bit. Now, I mean, we're at a point where he can Earthshock his Fel Reaver.
I think Lifecoach is going to kill it.
Yeah. There's no reason to get greedy for trying to mill cards. He actually looks at the card count, 16. I always do that too.
Actually, if he doesn't kill it and a spell damage totem and a sick crackle comes out, Lifecoach is dead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this might seem weird to the guys that have seen the Fel Reaver highlight videos where someone loses their deck and it's the guy with the Fel Reaver. But this is by far the safest play, and making it is very important.
That's still a pretty ridiculous amount of damage in the hand, but I don't know, it just still seems like Lifecoach is...
Now, the Power Mace is a really good card because it does follow the Dr. Boom on curve.
Buffs a Boombot.
Yeah. Seriously, that's good.
There it is. You were right, Hyped.
Yeah, there's a Sky Golem. I don't think
And
it's gonna pop
what
this game,
lies
though.
in that? What
I
is
don't think we're not gonna
piloting that
figure it
Sky
out.
Golem? Is it a piloted trader that's piloted by a millhouse?
Summoning portal, probably.
Summoning portal.
Would that be that bad? Just spawn his entire hand.
I didn't even know how much is it. 2 off.
2 off. Oh, not quite then. Did I turn after us?
Well, he's starting to pile in a lot of damage. He's actually setting himself up for lethal next turn with just like a stray juggle or a consecration. So if he plays Dr. Boom here, there's a... I think he's dead. I don't think there's any way that he could actually clear something because he'd take the damage anyway.
Yeah, but the stray juggle could hit a bomb.
Oh, that's true. Well, no,
No, he
because he
dies to
only needs
consecrates.
consecrate, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that case,
I
even
think it was a bit of a misplay to not kill the juggler last turn. I mean, it's certainly aggressive. It's certainly in line with his way of play, but you do
when you have Dr.
have to
Boomerang,
stay alive.
I feel like you can play a little bit control-y with that hand.
Yeah, and that juggler just puts in so much damage. I think the play here is the Earthshock and Fire Elemental, the 6/4. And maybe even kill the juggler, which probably should have died last turn.
that removes a lot of damage from the board. You're going to be left at 13 health. There's only going to be 6 power on the board. You have Dr. Boom and Rag to follow that up with. I really do like that play. So there's 2 different types of players that play against Lifecoach. One of them are the players that sort of match his pace.
Whoa.
And the other ones are the players who get really impatient. Did he just Earthshock him?
Well, he's not dead, so that kind of did that.
Yeah.
Oh. Is he dead? No, still no. Very close, though. That's
Did the quartermaster math.
1 off. Now, what can come out of that Sky Golem that would kill him? Is there anything?
There's a Corcoran, maybe? No, because he has to throw 6 in, so he's going to lose damage no matter what.
Right.
Yeah. George, I think you're actually the one that told me this, but there's nothing that punishes you.
Yeah, if you're the player with the Sky Golem, it's pretty rare that you want to trade, that you're in this situation, but if you have the Sky Golem on your turn, you can go ahead and trade it in first if you know you're going to, because everything benefits you. There's nothing that punishes you outside of, like,
That's
maybe.
pretty bad. That's pretty
It's bad, but it doesn't punish you.
Yeah, but you can do it first. It's not going to hurt your play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're going to heal yourself.
Yeah. like Piloted Shredder could get a Mana Ray or a Nerubian Weblord,
Right.
which would make it so that you wouldn't be able to play something. So it's better to play it second, whereas Sky Golem is not the same. You can't even YOLO Rag.
Nope. I believe there's nothing.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Well, what if you get a Taunt Totem and you crackle a 3/3? Then you're still dead.
I think you don't. Yeah.
The Miracle Crackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. He rolled
was the
maximum
6.
damage. All right, well, he is going to go ahead and concede, and Lifecoach takes a very quick 2-0 lead in this series. Lifecoach has yet to lose a game.
Wow.
At the Season 2 finals. Right now, he is 5-0. He's probably feeling really good about
That is the
himself.
most dominating performance so far. We've
Yeah.
had players be 0-5.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
But no 5-0s until now.
Yeah.
So good for him. I kind of like to see these type of decks. These like very controlling decks with many decisions, all played out, extremely well.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even really talked about how well Lifecoach has played, just because it kind of goes with it. I mean, you kind of get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about the plays, and he just makes that best play every time. So it's leading to wins. I think some options from Phonetap, but overall, most of them seemed irrelevant throughout the scope of the game. I don't think he could have done much to actually win that one.
Yeah, they're very optimistic. That weird Earthshock play, you can tell that it was like really hard, but he's like, well, there's like one way I can win, so I'm just going to hope that I draw that card.
Yeah, the main way that Phonetap would have won that game is if Lifecoach was merciful enough and left the 1/7 Fel Reaver stay alive.
Yeah. He set himself up for like a burn spell to win. Like if he had just drawn a Lava Burst or a second Crackle, then he had a chance to win, especially since we saw at the end he actually rolled a 6 with the Crackle.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to get his bad RNG out of the way. He was hoping that Crackle was going to roll a 3, so then he knew his next Crackles would be 5s and 6s, but
Well, because these matches were off stream, the ones that we played earlier,
yeah,
they may have even been played at the same time.
they were played at different times.
They were played different times.
Yeah.
So do the players know? Like, they get a chance to watch? Like that's what's curious.
I think they did, because I saw Lifecoach sitting back there doing something
Oh, I
with
see.
some
Okay.
pen and paper. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, Shaman stays against the Druid.
yeah, the deck was brought back basically to beat Druid. It's really good. It's really-
This is a pretty good curve for Phonetap.
Yeah, that doesn't get too much better. If you just double up on a Mech Warper, that's about as good as it gets. And that can happen. I mean, if the first card off the top is a Mech Warper, this game is over. Because it's going to be turn 2 Mech Warper, coin a Neutron Whirling Zap-O-Matic into Power Mace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's actually really hard to win with the Druid. Like, like the best hand is like Innervate Belch or something like that, and even that struggles. He can get that charge out, but
Wild Growth, Innervate Ragnaros. Snipe the Wind Fury.
that's that good.
All right.
Doesn't have the Wrath. Don't have
Shaman starts the damage.
Quite a bit of damage. Starts the beating. And he realizes, okay, he didn't have the answer to it then. Throw out the Mech Warp. He's got Annoyal trying to protect that in the next turn, or you can even just continue piling on the threats with Mechanical Yeti.
That's a Savage Roar play.
Yeah, so Wild Growth doesn't really do anything here. Unless you think you're going to get Emperor next turn. You may as well just Savage Roar. And then hopefully charge into the
Yeah, and
Mech Warper
you
next
also
turn.
want to Wild Growth maybe into Ragnaros. Like, this turn does absolutely nothing.
Druid is sort of the class to have when you're up 2-0, because it gives you 3 chances to draw into a ridiculous
Yeah.
opening hand.
I'm curious what Lifecoach is thinking about.
I think he's just planning out. Like he's counting all his next 3 turns.
Is there any chance Savage Roar is not being played here?
Yeah, it's not.
There's no way.
0%, George? 0% chance that...
0%.
I'm
Okay.
going with 0. Are you giving him a digit? You going with 1% maybe?
No, I'm with George.
But what if he like coughs the second he tries to click Savage Roar and
No chance.
moves the mouse, just happens to be on the end turn
No
and
chance.
gets clicked?
Still 0.
What if something falls from the ceiling on top of the mouse and it makes that maneuver?
Let me look in the rule book real quick. Nothing.
Okay.
Section 8B. If something falls from the roof onto someone's hand during a match and forces his mouse to go somewhere else, the tournament just ends.
Okay.
It's not a real rule, disclaimer.
I like the 2 creatures over the 1 Yeti here.
Yeah, you get more discount, but he is thinking about something like Belcher. What's the best way to punch through a Belcher?
Yeah.
And with
Well,
the
I
Power
think-
Mace, I don't think he's punished either way.
No, I think he's mostly thinking about Yeti because next turn he'd be able to Power Mace and play the Annoyatron. But he curves out. Like over the next 2 turns, the best mana efficiency is to Yeti. But over the next turn, the most tempo you get from Annoyatron and Spider Tank. But what do you choose? Do you go for the full mana efficient play?
I think I am thinking about a Belcher where the Yeti's a little bit awkward.
I think when your opponent has an empty board, playing the biggest threat possible to open up more opportunities for you to weave in lower cost creatures and spells
Yeah,
for
but
the next
against,
turn.
against Druid of the Claw, it's devastating because the
this is
Yeti
where
doesn't even
Power Mace
die
is
and you
great.
taunt in front of it. That's so insane. And you can on-curve Doomhammer after that. So if they disconnect here, does Phonetap get the win? Is it 100%? It seems 100%.
Yeah. All right, George. You're a percentages guy.
If Phonetap wins, if he disconnects, he still wins 100%? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
no. Of course, the he's onboard lethals by the rules. But really, does Lifecoach have a single chance this game?
No.
No.
What's the best card?
What to do?
No.
Yeah, Lifecoach, one of the few Druid players to still be running the Ragnaros. I think the Nylon boys like to put that card into Druid. They've been running it for a while. What do you think of Rag and Druid there, George?
I'm not that crazy about it, but it has been making a comeback. People kind of like it when rogues are around just because it's not a great sap target, but
Yeah.
I still think it's like a pretty weak card in Druid. I think there's better options, but I'm not 100% sure what matchups he's thinking about with Rag.
I actually have the notes. Since I didn't get to watch the games backstage, I actually have notes here from one of the admins who was watching the games. In Game 3 of Lifecoach versus the Rad, it was Lifecoach's Druid versus the Rad's Warlock. And under Game 3, the notes are Ragnaros RNG.
Okay.
That's the notes of how Lifecoach won.
Well,
So
I think that's the course of play we're taking this game. Lifecoach really wants to ping off that shield, but it's because if the weapon lands on the Annoyatron, he's got a much bigger problem.
yeah. He's going to take some punishment.
That's actually a terrible draw.
Yeah, one of the worst.
Well, I guess you can Spider Tank and play that. It's kind of on curve.
Yeah, so then next turn you can swing and then do 2 more with the Doomhammer. That's
No,
how it
I
works.
kind of like Doomhammer. You can use Doomhammer right now. If you play Doomhammer, you can still do the 2.
Yeah, but then you get the extra 2 from the buff with the HP. You break it next turn.
Oh, if you break it.
Yeah.
That's true.
You swing for 3, you break it for an extra 2, and then you swing for 2.
Wow.
Also,
Good
you Wearing
stuff.
Blade's face and that feared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he...
You know, Wearing Blades now.
Why not? 1 damage.
Yeah, getting in that damage could be a pretty big deal.
Why not?
If he Whirling Blades and then... Or if he doesn't Whirling Blades and then has to Crackle for lethal and then misses Crackle by 1 damage.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to get it on a Whirling Zap-O-Matic or anything later. It's not like he's trading, so you may as well just be mana efficient. Use the 1 mana now.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So the best shot here, do you think, is to Ancient of War heal? So Ancient of War heal could block what? It would technically block 5 damage. Ragnaros, even if the best target hits, it would only end up blocking
I feel like
4.
Druid of the Claw is probably the best play.
Druid of the Claw and then just hero power down the 1/1.
Yeah. Because it kind of works for the board. It's very optimistic, but you kind of have to be.
Yeah, it blocks 6 damage as opposed to the 5 damage heal from Ancient of Lore.
I block
or
7.
optimistically, if he had some way to deal 2 damage, like a Doomhammer. So it would block 4 from the power from the Mech Warper and then 2 from a Doomhammer.
Actually, would he Doomhammer? No, I think he'd Power Mace Crackle for potential lethal.
He already got his 6 damage Crackle out of the way, though.
He doesn't need 6.
Chucky and I were actually talking to Lifecoach before we cast with him yesterday. We were trying to convince him that National Donut Day in America is actually a real thing.
Well, you make it a real thing if you just eat more donuts today.
Yeah. He didn't believe us.
Okay.
He thought we were trolling him.
All right, I think here you just crackle. Go for lethal, whatever.
Hey.
The 4 kills him, so it's 4, 5, or 6, 75% lethal.
He's just figuring out where it's best to point it.
Face.
Yeah, you pretty much just point to face.
To do.
Yeah, because if you get 4 on the Druid Claw, you just threw lethal.
Yeah. Yeah, because then he just power mace into the Druid.
Guide me.
Here we go.
Needs a 3 to stay alive.
Oh,
my
no!
god. Did you see Lifecoach's hand just
Yeah.
flip off the mouse a little bit there?
Yeah.
That was an intense one.
He did get out his good crackles out of the way in the last turn. Now, is there an opening for Lifecoach here? Does he have a potential to stabilize?
I don't see
I'm
it.
not seeing it. Even if you rewind a tree.
So he can... Oh, man.
Is there maybe some draws he can play with Innervate? Like, what if he Ancient Allures and gets an Innervate Belcher? I think that's it. Yep, that is the play. And then he's still dead to Doomhammer.
Gets the second Innervate and a Belcher.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. That's his only out.
Yes.
I'd say so.
And he's still dead to Doomhammer.
Yeah.
You just overwrite the Doomhammer, it buffs the 1 mech.
Yeah.
And then you get the second Doomhammer hit to face.
The heal from Ancient of War does nothing.
No.
Force of Nature doesn't take away enough. Can't kill him with Rag. Can't set up any sort of lethals. Can't even draw Cycle with
No.
Wild Growth.
The only chance you have from the board is Ancient of Lore into Innervate Belcher.
Nope.
Nope.
Not even close. All right, goes to the concede button, and Phonetap manages to find a win
With Shaman.
with
That's
the Shaman.
2.
2 so far the tournament. We've seen 2 Shaman decks, and they've each taken 1 win now.
I wonder if Shaman is still the worst deck of the tournament now with 2 wins.
Druid is.
You think Druid is?
Druid's had an abysmal win rate.
Priest?
Well, Priest I think is 50%. I think Kalenta played Priest. He won 1, he lost 1.
Actually, in the series that he lost, I think he lost all 3 with Priest.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I missed some of that.
So that's a pretty bad
That's true.
Pretty bad win rate as well.
Priest is pretty close to Shaman.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lifecoach does have to win a game with this Druid, while Phonetap does have a few options. How do those options look here?
Hunter and Druid are Phonetap's 2 options. And so one is a mirror matchup.
Yep.
So that one's tough to say. And Hunter actually should have a favorable matchup against Druid.
Should.
Yeah, but he has that Harrison in there, kind of weighing down. I mean, it's okay if you imagine Swipe's been spent by that point, so it kills a Belcher. But I mean, it's going to be weighing down his deck, and I imagine his Druid also has a Harrison that's not going to be the greatest in the mirror. Like if Lifecoach plays an Azure Drake, and you just play a Harrison into it, you feel really bad. Just
Yeah.
if you get on board first, it's pretty threatening.
Phonetap looks a little bit jittery.
Jittery. No, that's the cameraman. He's jittery.
Oh, the cameraman's jittery.
Yeah.
Cameraman's nervous for
sure.
him. Okay. That cameraman's nice and steady.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. Players are about to get into it here.
Yeah. So again, Lifecoaches has to win 1 game with Druid over the next 2 games in order to qualify for the playoff stage. That last match was actually the first match that he's lost so far at the Season 2 Legendary
It's
really
Series
hard to
Final.
beat.
This is so important. I mean,
Shaman.
just getting the top seed as well just puts you in such a nice spot. You only have to play
Yeah.
2 games if you win them both. Only 2. Don't have to worry about the RNG in the 3rd and top seed. Good
You
to go.
also get matched up against a player from another group that got 2nd place.
Exactly.
So maybe a better matchup. It's hard to say, but it would mean he's just 3 wins away from actually winning the whole tournament, so we'd only have to get 5 wins total.
Phonetap forced to mulligan all 4 and gets pretty much 4 mediocre cards, assuming he can't pair something with the Handmaster. That's what he really wants.
Yeah.
Blood Spinner, Creeper.
It's still a lot better than that double freeze trap garbage you got earlier.
Yeah. Okay, there's Animal Commanding. That's one of the best cards you want against Druid.
All right, where's my statistics page? Okay, I'm ready.
So if it's 70% Huffer, then this means it's going to be Huffer, right?
That was 75% Misha.
No, yeah, right now we have a total of 8 Mishas, 2 Huffers, 2 Leox so far today.
So it's 70% Huffer. That's what you were saying earlier. You did the math, didn't you?
No.
Oh. Huffer, see?
Huffer.
Whoa!
100%,
3 Huffers! Getting
Is
closer
it the
to
worst
70%.
one right here? Yeah, it's the worst.
It's pretty bad.
It's the only one that dies to Wrath.
Yeah, but
Or
it does
Savage
damage. Like, Leok kind of dies and doesn't even do that 4 damage.
I don't know if you're worried about doing damage with mid-range on it.
But, like, Leok would have just been worse. Wouldn't it?
We would have got the Houndmaster on it and killed the Shredder, or at least, you know, had it.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, he got it anyways.
All right, we're getting closer to 33%.
That's some horrible animal companions.
I mean, he has the Houndmaster, it's fine. Also, he has the option to quick shot, and then he gets a trade in.
Imagine if he got Mishas there.
He has 3 different 4-mana options, pretty good. Actually,
I think
with the
Handmaster
Owl,
is the best.
yeah, Houndmaster because it's like the hardest to use. But I mean, sometimes you want to get the Mad Scientist going as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But it should be easier to fit the Mad Scientist in later.
So, Savage Roar, maybe?
Savage Roar Hero Power is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
You can clear and you end up with whatever comes from the Shredder, which might be really good.
The only problem is you take another 3 damage.
Yeah.
Put you down to 20, which that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I think you're fine with it. You're looking at your hand with the...
You also don't break the combo. You have Savage or Force of Nature anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I mean, you're taking 3 damage, but that's the best case. If you don't do that, you take slightly more than 3.
Yep. What other options are there? Asher Drake? Then what? Hope you
Then
get a Bluegill Warrior?
No, there's Moonfire in there.
Okay.
See, Azure Drake into Moonfire kills the Leo.
Oh, yeah. There we go. He found it!
Oh, chugga chugga. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'd say so. You can keep him perpetually frozen. And it also has the potential to stall a little bit for a big creature. Like perhaps you can trade it into a Savannah Highmane to set it up next turn to be killed while you build a board.
I think I just like the Shredder here.
I think I'd go with the Mad Scientist quick shot because then your Savannah turn, you can Hunter's Mark, trade in the Scientist with whatever he plays.
Oh, I see.
Whenever I have a Savannah, I want to like set up the best turn 6.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it involves like having a bow.
No, you're
on
right.
and a
I
Hunter's Mark in
like
your
that
hand.
considerably more.
Yeah. Maybe he's thinking he needs the quick shot draw, but probably not.
No.
No.
Because he knows his turn 6 is just playing the Highmane. It's going to be a while before he gets to the point where he plays quick shot as draw.
Thing is, Pilot Shredder is still not that bad.
Yeah, just having the Hunter's Mark on your Savannah turn is extremely powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only does he kill whatever comes
gets a
out from
freeze trap.
Lifecoach, he gets the freeze trap, which
Exactly.
sort of blocks the next thing that he plays as well.
Oh, no, Lifecoach might Force of Nature here.
Yeah, to clear the way for his like lore maybe.
Yeah.
Because then he gets to put the lore down and gets his Savannah, but then you're worried about kill command.
And you're worried about just ending the game.
Yeah. I thought about it for a second.
Oh, that's a bad draw.
You're a little sad to Hunter's Mark that, but you have to with the Savannah turn.
Mm-hmm. Consistent plan, good play.
We saw we saw double freezing trap from Phonetap earlier in the first match of this.
And that was all he had, yeah.
Yeah.
So right now the worst draw is the other Mad Scientist.
Yeah. Very true.
Lifecoach is not happy about that.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, he can play.
He could do Ancient Allure, and then next turn he can
Force of
Nature. and maybe he gets like an innervate to do like a huge Savage Roar play in there.
But he needs 2 turns just to deal with the high main. That doesn't account for whatever's going to come out from Phonetap the following turn.
Right.
So like he plays Ancient of Lore, and then next turn he can Force of Nature, freeze one of the treants.
Here's
and
another
then kill
option.
them.
What if you Ancient of Lore and heal? 'Cause you're not going to play out this hand anyway.
Yeah, you have like everything you need. You just need a little bit more time. So I think heal would be the way to go. But there's also with 2 mana. I was gonna say you can Azure Jet and just let it sit on the board and get the spell power swipe next turn, but you can't. The treants have to be played next turn. So he goes for like something like an Innervate instead of the heal. I kind of would have liked the heal, but maybe he feels like with his cards he can't win.
Whoa.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
that is brutal. That fits the curve. Like,
What? No, it just kind of works. Just kill him.
Yeah.
yeah. Knows that it's going to get frozen anyway. There's no reason to throw that 5 damage there.
Yeah, you have double death rattles. You're like, there's no way he's gonna clear my board.
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
I figured he would just use the kill
He's going to
command.
clear the beasts, at least.
Yeah, but he gets some.
He has the owl if he needs.
Yeah.
All right.
top
So, I
I'm
mean,
pretty
Force of
happy.
Nature just has to be played.
Yeah. But then he just... Okay, so he Force of Natures, he clears off the high main and the 2 hyenas.
Yep.
And then what? He just hero powers?
What to do?
Wall growth to open up more mana for next turn?
I don't think that mana is relevant.
Yeah, there's no 10 mana plays.
I think Hero Power is better than Wild Growth, at least. Once we have that decision down. The rest, though, I'm not so sure.
Yeah. It would bring him back up to 13 health. He'd have 4 damage sitting on the board. Would keep him alive. But can he stabilize enough? The hero power is already putting him on a clock. Phonetap is
There's
the
a
player
10-minute
with the
play
initiative.
Azure Drake, Drew the Claw. Maybe he thinks he needs double taunt, so something like a Belcher and a second Drew the Claw next turn.
Yeah.
Also, I wasn't counting the tree, but I don't
It's not quite lethal, but I like a Dr. Boom still. Likes to hop over the relevant creatures.
Yeah. Yikes.
This is where you swipe and the game ends.
I don't think there's any way for him to stay alive here.
Yeah, you're already like doing the Doomsayer math.
Yeah. Well. Oh, there is. What if he plays some garbage, swipes the 4/3, gets a Doomsayer, the Boombots go all into the garbage.
Yeah, you
And
charge
hero
the
power.
Drew the Cloud face. I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Or Shade. You hit for 1 and then get it for 4.
What?
Okay.
It's a slim chance.
Oh, we're picking real slim right now. And that's just over. Like the Boombots are enough.
Ouch.
Well, looks like it's gonna be a Druid on Druid.
Yeah.
How about that? I thought Lifecoach had that in the bag, but no.
Up 2-0 in the
a few
series.
sneaky wins, and we're into the coin flip just about. We're into that game where one player gets a wild growth, the other doesn't, and that player wins.
Yeah, Druid is one of those mirror matchups where maybe a little more draw dependent than others, but we are going to a game number 5 in the winners match of Group D.
Yeah.
Phonetap versus Lifecoach. A lot of people have been saying that Group D is sort of the really strong group. There's so many great players in this. We have Phonetap, Soundstorm, the Season 1 champion, Lifecoach.
Well, everyone's had to win quite a few games against top-end players just to get to this tournament.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Well,
I can't really call any group more devastating than another.
Phonetap made it through to the last chance qualifier. Lifecoach, of course, was the first player that we had qualified for the Legendary Series from Week 1. So, sort of opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phonetap was actually one of the last players to qualify, I think, through the last chance.
Well, you know all this stuff.
Yeah, he got. I can't remember when he got knocked down, but he did get knocked down and have to move on through the losers bracket at least a bit. So,
Well, here we go. Druid on Druid.
I have to say I'm not liking Phonetap's chances. Lifecoach plays Druid a lot, and his Druid is usually a little bit greedier, like something with, like, at the Rag, and I'm sure there's 2 Azure Drakes in there probably, and Belchers. These cards are all great in the mirror. Whereas, like I said, Phonetap has Harrison, and I think Ooze, maybe 2 Oozes.
We also haven't seen Rag yet, and if it wasn't revealed in his earlier games...
What do you mean? I mean, he hasn't seen Rag yet. Phonetap hasn't seen
Phonetap has not seen Lifecoach's Rag Heroes.
He can assume, and I think they watch each other's. They were able to watch each other's games backstage. So
there's some chance he saw it.
Well, one of the games he actually won with it. So if he was watching it at all,
that's true. Yeah.
Then he would have known. So I think he knows. And Hype said it. Lifecoach puts a lot of Druid, and Druid is one of those classes that rewards like technical play the most. I think Druid and Handlock, like they're not like gimmicky. It's all about just.
Sometimes it's pretty gimmicky.
A lot of people say Druid don't have that many choices, but if you watch Lifecoach's stream, you watch him play Druid, he talks a lot about all the different choices. Like even the hero power, he talks about hero power for about 30 seconds each turn.
Yeah, Lifecoach streaming is sometimes a disadvantage to his play. Because he already takes up the full time, but talking takes up an extra 30 seconds.
Wow, is that news?
I think he might play 2, I think, but I know he plays at least 1.
Wow. Oh, it's all right. Put something on the board where otherwise no other Druid deck would have anything.
It's a kind of bit of a handicap, though.
Yeah.
And Lifecoach hits a pretty good curve here. Wild Growth into Piloted Shredder. That's what you want to see.
But I think the Ooze does decent against that. Oh, Wild Growth of the Zone. I think you kind of have to play that to keep up throughout the game.
All right, so we're on even footing.
No, I think going first Wild Growth is much better than going second Wild Growth.
But it's better than going second and having no Wild Growth.
Yes, that's true.
I wonder.
What would you do here, Hype? Do you think Ooze or the Wild Growth? I think if he plays the Ooze, he's just going to get like tempoed out
I think
every
it's either
single
Wild
turn.
Growth or Innervate Shredder. You know, normally you don't want to Innervate the Shredder because it's a little weak to Wrath, but when you see your opponent Wild Growth as well, you're expecting them to have a 4-drop. So he just gets his 4-drop, then he Wild Growths next turn. I know what you mean about not Wild Growthing, but with the Innervate, I think this is perfectly reasonable. But he is kind of betting that he's not going to get something amazing to Innervate later, because he knows you don't really want to Innervate the Sylvanas, you want to use that from behind. But he's going to be a little bit sad if he picks up, you know, Lore, Dr. Boom, something like that.
Oh, Wild Growth first.
Yeah.
I thought he'd Wrath first.
Yeah, he doesn't have a play for next turn with 5 mana, and he's not guaranteed to draw anyone. So he wants to make sure that he has something set up. So if anything, he can coin Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if his if Lifecoach like preserves his Death Rattle, that only helps because then he's like gonna get a guaranteed Sylvanas steal. Eventually.
Eventually.
But double lore is always like really sad when your opponent can get it off. You're like, I have no cards, you have all the cards, it's not fair. But it is really slow.
Oh man, the decisions.
Well, see, now he's thinking, he's like, I have double lore and Dr. Boom. I have all the value. I can play Control-y.
So is he thinking of playing Savage Roar here to remove the Piloted Shredder, preserve something on the board, potentially? Because there's...
Yeah, I think you want to save Swipe.
Yeah.
Between those two, if you're going to remove, you're going to use the Savage Roar.
It's actually not that unlikely that he gets a 3-attack creature from...
Well, the average is below 3. I think the average is like 2.3 or something.
What is 2.3 attack? I can't think. Okay.
Great.
No.
You didn't kill it. You want that 6 damage?
Apparently you kill it.
Playing around the old Demon Heart. Oh, well, it gets turn 5 played.
Yeah, but you can deal with the Belcher if you want. It's not that efficient with the Swipe Hero Power, but I think it went into his turn last turn. He's like, well, turn 5 plays, I can deal with them, so. Except for Lothar, but.
Sylvanas, how about
This is
that?
pretty good.
You think
I
so?
mean, it's a little using the coin like off. You're gonna force that Belch off curve, but I mean, if you look at his hand, he has nothing else to use it on. For a while.
Yeah.
All even. Well, 1 odd, but.
And Sludge Belcher, you know that Powder Shredder has already done damage to you by being able to kill the second portion of the Powder Shredder, and having the Powder Shredder trade into your Sludge Belcher is not that great of a feeling. Where you know Sylvanas, unless he uses the Keeper, is going to steal something.
Yeah, this is a really problematic Sylvanas.
It makes him sort of have to rethink his turn.
I think it's still pretty tame. compared to what Sylvanas is capable of, I think this is like whatever.
Well,
still.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Lifecoach's turn, what do? Everything kind of is.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty straightforward. You just let them have whatever comes out of Shredder. You play your own Shredder.
Play the other Shredder.
Because like it's a huge
Oh, you go ahead and hero
RNG
power.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that actually. Yeah.
It's a huge RNG turn because like if you get something good out of the Shredder, you're gonna just lose. But if he gets garbage, you're totally fine.
Oh, he's gonna go face. He doesn't want to take the 5 and give up 5 of his own.
Okay.
He's already taking a lot of damage, so if he hero powered in the Sylvanas, he'd be down to 19 already.
Yeah, the reason I don't really like this too much is you just full steal a Shredder. Or not. You could have full stolen a Shredder.
And then he would have had to just play an Ooze after that.
Yeah.
I guess since you're full stealing a Shredder, it's like, would I rather have an Ooze and a Shredder, or still have my Sylvanas up, make his turn problematic, and just play a Belcher?
I think when you see your opponent, like Lifecoach, go face and try to race, and you have the Belcher, you're really happy. You're like, oh, okay, you're gonna try to race, I have the Belcher, I'm gonna win the race. Really hard for your opponent to deal with the Belcher. And then Sylvanas behind a ton is great.
Yeah. Yeah, you just get to get a better choice. You get to set up a better situation. But okay.
Not quite as a Drake swipe.
That would have been kind of bad though, to give your opponent another mana crystal in this matchup. If you did go for the Sylvanas slaying.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty bad.
He would have done, yeah, Belcher and Ooze.
It's interesting here. Get a mana discount.
But it doesn't matter.
To ignore the Sylvanas. Maybe he'll get a keeper eventually.
Ooh. That's a good counter for Sylvanas.
He gets a Direwolf here, though. Sylvanas here. Oh no, it's not dead.
Overestimating those slimes. Well, now he can do that play that Crip was suggesting last turn. He can steal something if he wraths his own Sylvanas for 1.
He can full steal the Shredder again. He can charge into the 2/2, Sylvanas into 4/4, and Wrath Sylvanas.
Yeah. He's bouncing
And you
over.
know your opponent doesn't have the keeper. Your Sylvanas have been alive for like 3 turns.
Yeah.
Where shall I strike?
So you're 4/2. Cat's gonna live.
Let none survive.
And now he's going to have 8 damage on the board with Force of Nature in his hand.
Could you have done a different play if you drew first? Nah, it doesn't matter. Pretty much. I like it. I like it, except for the Ushki on the right, but that's okay.
He can put a creature there, don't worry.
All right. Oh no, the trees go there for the... So
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
he trades in... Okay.
It's okay, George.
It's BM positioning.
All right.
Well, this sets up for
Yep,
lethal
it's
next turn.
It's lethal.
Yeah. If he doesn't hero power.
No,
Or
if
heal.
he hero powers, he's still dead because the Druid can hero power and Force of Nature.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's got 8 total mana.
Yeah,
next
he
turn.
has to use something to start clearing, and I mean it's pretty easy Force of Nature. Now you absolutely kill the Shredder last, because you could get like some
Explosive sheep.
Or an
something
oil
like that.
charm.
Yeah,
the
something like
worst,
that.
yeah.
Phonetap sort of psyching himself up. He's like, okay, that's okay. That's
Yeah, there's
okay.
like
I'm
3
still in it.
taunts.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, whatever.
Sure.
Let's do nothing or 6 damage.
Probably not going to get much more time to play both those Force Natures as the game goes on. Doesn't set up for lethal. Phonetap looks very distressed right now.
I mean, that was a terrible draw.
Yeah, yeah. Just basically did nothing except 6 damage.
He needed that card. Savage Roar.
It's really hard to pass up the heal when you see that. But maybe you think you can get away with the Doctor Boom.
Well, you do have to win this game. If you heal, you don't really win.
If you heal, you get to play your other 7 drops, though.
Yeah.
And you see your opponent didn't play a lore. He had a perfect turn to play a lore, a Doctor Boom, anything like that, and he didn't. So you're like, okay, I have time to heal. And then play my second lore, or second 7 drop.
Is there an argument for playing Dr. Boom so you can better take control of the board and then heal?
I just like Dr. Boom because, I mean, it sets up a win scenario. But at the same time, out of the situational
your
cards,
face.
one of them could be a big game hunter. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely another thing to consider. I like lore heal.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I kind of like lore heal more.
Still did the combo, full combo.
Well, his mouse is closer to Dr. Boom. I'm okay with anything.
That was arguable.
Yeah. That was arguable?
That his mouse was closer to Dr. Boom.
No, that was certainly closer to Dr. Boom.
We need an instant replay. But he played it anyway, so. Well, he got his own Dr. Boom. He's got to think about this, though. I don't think there's any way he can possibly die. Force of Nature Savage Roar with an Annoy trying in the way. I don't think he can do it.
I mean, it's just a gold chart. It's not a Noichon.
Yeah.
What?
I think he's going to pop the bomb afterwards so he can get hurt. No? Yeah. He wants his bombs to heal, so he doesn't have to deal with Savage Roar as much.
Whoa! Well, that might be it for Lifecoach.
Yeah. No matter, even if he is able to deal with the board,
Yeah, just
the Force of Nature.
top deck Dr. Boom with that outcome is just crazy.
Yeah. I heard it's a good card.
I mean, he can
Did
still
you?
get BGH and then heal.
Did
up,
one of the
yeah.
Blizzard devs tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you heard of that Dr. Boom card?
Time waits for no one.
George, is there any way that Lifecoach can salvage the situation?
I'm thinking. Well, that needed to hit the Noichon, I think.
Whoa!
Yeah, if he gets a BGH and then he heals with yeah, so right there, and then he heals for 5.
Wow.
He's back in it.
He didn't need the BGH, but this helps a lot.
Yeah, he could have hero powered.
But BGH allows him to hold on to his 7 damage Dr. Boom. Also set up a 4 damage Big Game Hunter. There still is a Force of Nature, or sorry, a Savage Roar draw for Phonetap for the victory, regardless of if he heals.
11. Yeah. He has 2 draws next turn as well. And he's not going to die on the turn after that. And Lifecoach can't really... Well, he can prevent the combo the turn after this. Healing again.
Yeah. So it's this draw might do it. Keeper of the Grove.
That's good, though.
It's, yeah, but doesn't win in the game.
It does, because if you draw Savage Roar, Lifecoach cannot heal out of it anymore. What's that?
Oh, no.
Safeguard.
That's that one card you didn't want to see.
This deck is so teched for the weapon classes. Harrison Jones plus Ooze. I mean, it's such a small difference in these hands that these players have had, and if he really wishes that those cards were something else at this stage.
I think you just push yourself out of any 3-card combo.
Yeah.
I think you have to Ancient of Lore, heal, and hero power.
Yeah.
You literally die to nothing.
You can still push for damage. You do 4 damage this turn, plus the hero power to the face. You have Savage Roar.
Yeah.
So once you sort of gain an overwhelming control over the board as a druid, it's so hard for the opposing druid to find his way back in it, unless he's using combo to clear, which means he won't have that for to find a victory.
Yeah. Well.
So he's thinking he might even need to Force of Nature. Double 5-drop seems really enticing.
Force of Nature, you can never win.
Yeah, you can't with that.
So.
Just double 5-drop?
We just don't Force of Nature.
Double 5-drop?
Yeah. No, you can't win with that either. I think you have to take the risk that Lifecoach has 0 damage cards and you charge face and hope to get Savage Roar. And I think the Harrison Jones is irrelevant, so you might even consider hero powering face to just get another armor.
Well, he taunted up. And I believe...
That's game.
Yeah. With the silence, Savage Roar.
Wow, what a back and forth game that was.
Wow.
Phonetap almost crawled back in the series, starting 0-2.
Yeah. And Lifecoach is going to take Group D in first place. He's going to move on to the playoff stage
and
tomorrow.
It sucks to lose if you're Phonetap, but if you're going to lose, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and that's the player
Yeah, 5
to
game
lose too.
Stretch against Lifecoach and crazy back and forth games after coming back from a 0-2.
Yeah. Really
He was
insane
kind of
match.
forced to reveal the Ooze, which he's probably a little bit sad about going into his next few matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of meaningful. Like a lot of people talked about how Druid just kind of bad class because it doesn't do well against Grim Patron War and Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, if you stick a bunch of weapon removal, maybe not.
Seems like a smart choice, but when you're going up against the mirror match, those cards all of a sudden become a huge liability.
Yeah. Actually got like a pretty nice Innervate Ooze off, but it died to the Force of Nature, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Lifecoach is going to move on, and coming out in first place, of course, we've talked about the benefits of that. It's a big deal because you get to only have to play 2 matches to get out of your group, so he gets to rest for the rest of the day. He gets to watch the rest of the matches.
And often that results in hiding some cards.
Yeah, definitely. And also tomorrow he gets to play one of the players that went out second in their group. So it's an arguable advantage.
It is just overall an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is Hearthstone. If you're going off a 3-game sample size, you're insane. But if you take all the 3-game sample sizes, by some small margin, it is somewhat more likely that you're facing a weaker player or one with weaker decks.
Yeah. All right, well, Froden is standing by with Lifecoach, the winner of the last series on the stage. So let's send it over to them.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Lifecoach. You go through to the round of 8. Looked like maybe you were going to go 6-0, but then ended up being very close in the end. Walk me through that series in terms of how things went for you.
Yeah, oh yeah. You hold it for me? Oh, that's cool. Oh, super, you're great. Okay, so actually, I mean, it was a pretty quick tour also. I was also actually really happy about that because like the lineup Phonetap actually brought was like super bad for my lineup in general. Like my handlock actually didn't have like any good matchups, and the same went actually for my druid. So I was super happy when these 2 decks actually like Paladin and Handlock went through, and yeah. So in the end, I mean, it was super close in the end. Actually, I thought I would lose the last game, like for sure. Like I just didn't see how I would ever win this game, but apparently, apparently it happened. So.
All right. Well, you're able to get that win, and now you're through to the round of 8, and you don't have to play any more games throughout the rest of the day, so you can enjoy it. I heard that you went to Venice Beach, actually, to visit while you had some time off of not playing the matches. How have you been enjoying California so far?
Oh, California was really great, and like as you said, like to the beach, and they were like we were to something called Muscle Beach, so they were like all bodybuilders, and I really felt super weak. Like it's like suddenly like if. But yeah, so that was really enjoyable, and definitely having a good time. I mean, more here than like in California in general. Like the ESL team is really great, and I'm really happy to be here because everybody is so friendly and nice. I'm really enjoying my time here.
That's awesome to hear. Have you been able to even prepare much for the event? Because you just came off another tournament win in Via Game a few days ago. How are you able to keep up such performances?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm of course trying to prepare as much as possible. So of course prepared on the flight here, and I can just hope that it will be enough.
Well, that's all you can hope for. Congratulations, Lifecoach. You go to the round of 8. You play tomorrow up against a 2nd seed. We'll find out what happens at the end of the day. But for now, we have one more spot to find out who is going to be able to go to the round of 8. So congratulations. We're going to give it over to the desk to see what's going to happen next here in Group D.